All right, so we're going to be looking at this clip from the REGZ podcast, and I'm sure most people aren't going to be covering this, but I got to talk about it because I know there's a lot of old Opie and Anthony fans that are trolling, most comedians' Instagrams and YouTubes and shit still to this day. Well into their 50s, out here trolling because that's what the O&A Reddit used to support. So they got to stick to it. They got to keep living that life. And here we got Lewis talking about wanting to get Opie and Anthony back for a reunion at Skankfest. Let's hear.
Let's roast. Let's get to Paulo.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to get DePaulo.
Gotta
You got to get Quinn.
Who's your ideal panel?
Colin Quinn. Got to be on it.
Will Colin come?
He will come for that.
He'll come for a
That's
day.
a good way to get Quinn to go to the festival.
Maybe.
He did the Tough Crowd reunion in Brooklyn. I mean, it was only Brooklyn, but the Tough Crowd reunion was one of the biggest moments in the history of the festival. I want to get the Opie and Anthony reunion. There's got to be a path. Why is Opie such a pussy? You're friends with us, though, right?
All right, first things first here, man. As they continue this conversation about possibly making this happen, right? Having an O&A reunion, all they keep referencing is Patrice O'Neal. Because that was the show, guys. All the episodes and all the great bits you remember is like Patrice related. Alright, it's not Opie and Anthony, right? I can't imagine also that O&A were sitting there doing all the booking. There had to be somebody who was booking people for them, which again takes it out of your hands. They're not even the ones selecting the talent to come on and have a conversation with them, so they don't know what to expect, right? They had fucking Sacha Baron Cohen as Borat on that show. I guess what I'm saying is it boils down to this. There is no Patrice O'Neal, man. So bringing O&A back is pointless. Other than probably the drama that could take place on stage between Opie and Anthony. Outside of that, all of these other comedians have surpassed that show. And the sad thing is everybody that was on that show is only kind of successful today. Or dead. Let's hear some more.
You would have to.
Are you friends with Opie still?
I was, but then we had a thing on Twitter last year
where he was kind of a dick to
Bobby.
Well,
he smashed me.
Why?
It was an earthquake, and he's like, "Did Bobby just do jumping jacks?"
That's funny.
But I already lost the weight, so it didn't even make sense. I was like,
Well, that's you
I was
being
100.
sensitive.
No, I didn't say anything. I didn't get sensitive. I thought it was funny, but I said something back. I go, "You still got it," and by I don't mean a radio show.
That's funny.
And he went fucking ballistic.
He got really upset.
Yeah, he was like, "Dude, we'll all compare bank accounts and fucking real estate."
Oh my God, what a weird... I mean, obviously he's unwell. And we know that Anthony Cumia is not any better. What it was a specific moment in time that featured so many greats. And again, Patrice O'Neal was sort of the main one. He was the reason that people kept coming back. When Patrice showed up, I bet those numbers were crazy. And then you put Patrice with anybody else, especially if it's somebody that he doesn't know and he's learning about them as soon as, you know what I mean, for the first time on the show. It's great radio. But it really doesn't have anything to do with the host being funny or being intuitive or any of that shit. I mean, you could put any faces there. It's no different than Kill Tony. When somebody does well on Kill Tony, it's not because of Tony Hinchcliffe. He's pulling a name out of a bucket, right?
Any day, and I was like,
crazy.
"All right, dude. I was just joking back. I had a good one too."
Lewis, you could be the Jesse Jackson to bring them together.
You could do it.
Opie's so against it. I know Anthony would do it. I could convince Jim to do it.
I think Jim and Opie are in a better place.
Jim would not do it.
Jim
Jim would be the hardest to get doing.
But honestly, even if Jim didn't want to...
See, as you see, this is just a bunch of old guys. Like, Joe List isn't even really saying anything because I don't think he cares, really. But I also believe that these guys are just sort of reliving this childhood that they used to love. Like the fact that Big J is a huge Howard Stern fan. Like, I don't know, I always find that weird. Like, people that go out of their way to listen to radio shows. I mean, it's so much better. Podcasting is just better, dude.
Didn't want to do just Opie and Anthony on stage, no cameras, the same way we do the Naked Roast. We won't even tape it. Just do a fucking reunion where you guys fucking come to Skankfest, you bring in Bobby, Voss, we'll fucking dig up Patrice's body.
God damn,
Can't you just get a black guy to do Patrice?
Just bail Bobo out of whatever home
Oh my God, dude, how Big A and fucking, dude, how fun would that be? It would be a moment for Skankfest. That,
Sam Roberts?
That's my biggest, biggest thing if I could do it. Like an Opie and Anthony reunion surprise. Oh my God.
E-Rock would be
E-Rock
sick.
would be great.
That would be awesome. You got to do that.
Again, just these three older guys trying to relive this fantasy. Like guys that weren't, I mean, I guess aside from Bobby, you know, guys that were probably never going to be on the show. Had it not disappeared, they might have been, but they weren't popular enough comedians back then to get on the show, and now they're going to be like, well, we'll pay you to come do our show. You know, it's the old guard bringing in, you know, it's the new guard bringing in the old guard, I suppose, right? If that makes more sense. At the end of the day, I just know that it's not going to happen. Because this isn't the first time that Lewis has talked about wanting to do this or figuring out a way to make it happen. And again, it doesn't matter. You can put Bobby, Rich Voss, Jim Norton, Dan Soder, Lewis, Joe List on the same panel, and it's way funnier than adding Opie and Anthony. They're not bringing anything to the show. It's an insane idea.
Yeah.
As a fan of that show,
so look, guys.
It doesn't look good.
Guys,
I've seen their
listen
Twitter.
to me. Harass Opie.
I don't know why they just don't put it behind them though.
They're like Pink Floyd.
They
It's
really
not
are.
happening.
Yeah, but they both got stuff. They got their houses. They got their Move the fuck on and just be friends again. Who gives a
Okay,
shit?
Bank accounts are fine. Just fucking come and give the people what they want.
I'm pretty sure that maybe Opie has a family, but Anthony Cumia definitely doesn't.
Wow.
Greatest radio show underneath Howard Stern.
I think a better show than Howard Stern, honestly.
Made me laugh harder than Howard Stern.
Yeah, I wasn't
At
even an
one
Opie and
point,
Anthony
they
guy
were-
growing up. I was a Howard
Sure,
Stern guy growing up. But Opie and Anthony, like objectively speaking, is a funnier show. They understood how to make it funny. Howard Stern's narcissism sort of like led to some funny moments.
I don't know. I don't know if Opie and Anthony knew how to make it funny. I think they were the guys in school that would get the funny people to do stupid shit. Like they were antagonists, right? They weren't. I mean, are you really? I don't know how much value that actually has in this space today. Like Lewis is already calling himself the point guard of podcasting, and yes, that's a skill set, but is it super necessary when the guy's already a funny guy? You're just gonna be the setup guy constantly? It's like a hype man, you know, in a rap song. Is it necessary? Is it?
Moments with him being mean to retarded people,
Yeah.
but that's kind of what it was. He was a great interviewer, better interviewer than anybody in the world.
Sure.
But Opie and Anthony, this shit exists
I think Howard-
because of what Opie and Anthony did. The way podcasts are today, there wouldn't.
No, it isn't. This shit exists because of Tom Green. Okay? Not because of Opie and Anthony. It's not the same thing. They did a fucking radio show. Radio shows have existed forever. What, Mike and the Mad Dog or whatever the fuck, that was a show. Those are two guys doing a radio show, talking about sports. Fine, same thing. It's a radio show. It existed. Tom Green reinvented it. You guys have cameras on you doing a podcast. Okay? Did they didn't bring cameras into Opie and Anthony until way later, or unless there was like fucking, again, like Borat coming in. So give Tom Green the credit, not Opie and Anthony. Because again, that was a show where the hosts hated each other. They fucking talked a bunch of shit. They were crass. I mean, Bobby himself even brings up an example of being on the show at one point where they got a bunch of these disgusting women to shove a wiffle ball bat inside of them. And it's like, come on, bro. How is that? It's disgusting. And yet people were like, yeah, no, give me more of that. And most of those people are in the comments today on YouTube, on Reddit. You know, they're probably the biggest Brendan Schaub haters. Okay? But none of them, I wouldn't imagine like Too Lazy or American Redact or Lion Meows came from the Opie and Anthony Reddit or the Fighter and the Kid Reddit. I just don't see that being a thing. There's some channels that might have done that. But either way, guys, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and we'll see you in the next.